All right, yes. Okay, let me go ahead and share this baby out and we will get started. I know I said 10 o'clock in different times, but I will go ahead and get us going here shortly. Let me go ahead and share this out. Give me a second, guys. Tweet. All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome. So I'll give everybody some time to join. I know I said around 10 o'clock, but guys, look, things fell off. So let's go ahead and get it from here. Give us some moments, guys, and we'll jump right into it. Obviously, we know we got some Yankee news to talk about. Obviously, some different things. No flower shirt today, man. No, no flower shirt. No flower shirt right now. I'll answer the Arenado questions. I know you guys are interested in that, so I'll answer a few questions, and we'll have some time to talk. Gio, my man, what's going on? Thank you. That's right. That is 100% right. I run my own fucking schedule. Yes, all day. Yeah, we'll talk about good old Mookie Betts. I was going to make a video about it, but we'll go ahead and talk about it here. Yeah, so we'll have a few more things to talk about. I'll give it just about 30 seconds more, and we'll jump right into it. How's everybody doing, by the way? Everybody doing well? Everybody doing good? How's everyone doing? Hopefully everybody's doing good. I know everybody's doing good. Everybody good. Everybody good. Good. All right. So let's jump right into it. You guys know one of the things I always ask in all these chats is if you guys have a social media platform, go ahead and share this out, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I'll get to any question that you guys want to ask that is not baseball. I'll get to those towards the end of the chat. The chat's not going to be extremely long. Probably go for about 25, 30 minutes, and then I'll be happy to ask any other questions you guys have. But of course, we do got some baseball news to talk about. The big one today is the news that really broke out of nowhere. I know I actually got a message on my my watch that I get the MLB alerts, and that one popped up. Sal, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. Yeah, so that popped up out of nowhere about James Paxton missing 3 to 4 months. And of course, we'll talk about this. And I know the speculation is going to begin pretty quickly that, the Yankees, are they going to look to trade for somebody? Or looking to maybe to sign a free agent that can give him some time out there. So I'll try to do my best of talking about the broad situation. Look, Paxton's going to be out for 3 to 4 months. Guys, I'll be honest with you. When the news broke, I said, shit. That was my response. It wasn't like, man. Like, it really wasn't a response of like, wow, I'm shocked. Now, knock on wood, God forbid it was cold, and I would be shocked. It doesn't shock me that Paxton's injured. It just doesn't. And I love James Paxton. I think James Paxton has a chance to be terrific for years to come. I think he has a chance to be great when he comes back, but I am not sitting here shocked that James Paxton is going to miss 3 to 4 months. I'm not shocked one bit by that. It doesn't shock me at all. So the news didn't hit me at all. The news didn't shock me at all. The news didn't push me back and go into a panic and say the Yankees are done for. I don't have that. Remember 3 weeks? Yeah, 3 weeks, that was the all-time worst. Yeah, so the Yankees right now got Garrett Cole up top. The top of the rotation isn't affected. Yes, Paxton was up there, but the Yankees still got a hell of a 3. You got I was going to say Corbin, my God. You got Garrett Cole up top, Luis Severino, and Masahiro Tanaka. J. Happ is still there. Domingo Germán won't be back to probably, the end of June, beginning of July, if that, because he's still going to have to do his work and whatnot, even though I think he's still allowed to throw and do all that fun stuff. And then you got likely Jordan Montgomery, who a lot of Yankee fans love. I don't dislike him. I think he's perfect for a number 5 guy Um, so I don't. I don't dislike the rotation. So anybody who is jumping off the Yankees rotation and saying we have major trouble here, I disagree in a sense. And you guys know, listening to me for years, I have always said we can never have enough starting pitching. Never. So even with this deal, I said they probably trade Hap. And from what I'm hearing, Hap did garner some interest. The Yankees are keeping him. The Yankees do feel there's more there. So when they're not going to, I doubt they trade Hap now unless there's some deal that comes along where they get a starter back with it. I don't see that happening. But you look at the market of what's out there, you're getting closer and closer to teams getting their rosters ready, knowing who's going to be invited to spring training. It's difficult to see where the Yankees go. Now, I've got a lot of DMs already saying, hey, Pete, do you think the Yankees reevaluate and possibly go after a guy like Robbie Ray, who they've been after for years? I would love that. I think that would be amazing. I don't think that's likely. I personally believed that when the Diamondbacks got Bumgarner, that was kind of telling that they would end up trading Robbie Ray. But then they go out there and they get Starling Marte also. And now they're saying, look, we think we're arguably the second best team in this division behind the Dodgers now. We think we're going to compete for a playoff spot. And hell, they just might. Especially with it being a walk year, Robbie Ray can go out there and do some big things. L.I. Yankee King, if I would get anybody from the Rockies, obviously not talking about Arenado starting pitching, it would be John Gray would be the guy I would go after personally if I'm looking at a starter from the Rockies. But you can look at some names out there in the trade market. You can also look at some names that are free agents. So there's a few things out there. Trade the Reds for Bauer. The Reds have no interest in trading Bauer because they're going to be a team that's going to compete. A lot of people see them as one of the favorites in that division, so in the league. So they're one of the better teams right now in the league. I don't see that happening. Can't rely on Hap. I agree, but I don't think you need to rely on him. I think if J. Happ can give the Yankees 5 innings of 3 runs every game, if he can pitch to a 4.15, 4.25 ERA, I think you're okay with that. I think if Jordan Montgomery can be somewhat consistent, the Yankees obviously didn't throw Domingo Germán down the road. They feel he's going to come back and come back strong. So there's a lot of different routes you can take here. But I do think it's possible the Yankees keep it in-house. And if they do go outside of the house, I think it'll be a minor signing of some sort of getting somebody else in. I'm looking too young, right? DJ Steels, I know, man. Look, this happened after the 49ers lost. I was so upset with my Niners losing. I didn't even like the reflection of my face, which never happens. Taijuan Walker, to me, that's still a project. I don't think the Yankees need to look at a project. And the reason why Walker's a project, he's coming off a major injury. The last report was that he's topping out about 85, 86. At that point, give me your Michael Kings. Give me your guys in the Yankees minor league system who could potentially become better. I don't think so. People asking me about Clark Schmidt. People asking me about Clark's. I don't see him breaking camp with the club. It wouldn't eventually shock me if he's pitching this year. That wouldn't shock me one bit per everybody I speak to. Anybody I've talked to that does some scouting, scouts that I've been hooked up with through people like Brian Hoke and those guys who have contacted me, with some good scouts out there, all think that Clark is the real deal. So Clark is the real deal. There's no doubt about it. So no, I actually think he starts the year again in Double-A. I don't think they put him in Triple-A immediately. I think Clark starts in Double-A again. I wouldn't mind pushing him to Triple-A. But we'll see what happens on that part there. No, Jose, I disagree with you on saying that Garcia should be called up. Um, Guys, if you remember the way a lot of people were doing the same thing with Justice Sheffield. And I remember being in live chats and everybody going, Pete, but what about Justice Sheffield? Why is this guy not up yet? He's doing pretty decent in AAA. He's probably better than some of the options we have. And I remember just pleading with you guys and saying, hey, everybody I speak to, I'm not hating on this guy. Everybody I speak to that does scouting that's told me this guy's not ready for the major leagues. This is talking about Justice Sheffield. Anyway, long story short, Sheffield's gone, right? So anyway, what I hear about Garcia is that they still feel this is a very unfinished product. This is not a guy who's going to come up immediately, even last year, going back to last year, and do tremendous out of the rotation. They said, is there a chance out of the pen? Because you can hide a guy in the bullpen. You can give a guy certain spots. You can tell him, hey, look, forget about refining pitches or get working on them. Throw the heat, throw your advanced curveball or slider, and you'll be good to go. In this situation, as a starting pitcher, you can't get away with that. And folks, he wasn't fooling many AAA guys. So at the moment right now, this has no knock on this guy as a player. There's just severe development that needs to be made here. He's not ready for this level. Now, we don't know what he did in the offseason. We don't know what he's worked on. But I wouldn't say he's ready right now for this level. Everybody talking about the Chris Bryant deals, the Nolan Arenado deals. Guys, look, that's something at this point I believe would really have to fall into the Yankees' lap. I don't think, again, I've reported on the Yankees' interest in Arenado going back to last year at the deadline, where I spoke of the Yankees making that call and having that conversation. And I said it wouldn't go nowhere at the time, but look into the offseason as a possibility. And now you got that more. But again, guys, the Yankees aren't going to blow this payroll up insanely. Look, Nolan has a big deal has a big deal already. There's not much you can really trade off. I've seen people come out with insane ideas. Giancarlo Stanton for him, and I'm sitting there saying, but why? Like, I don't get that type of deal. If Stanton is productive and he stays with the Yankees, remember we're getting $30 million from the Marlins to pay some of that deal down. It starts to look a little better. So, I think for a guy like Stanton, you hope for the best, and you go from there. You hope he produces. And if he opts out, you let him walk. If he opts out, if he does really well, maybe there's a chance he does. With guys getting somewhat big contracts again, maybe he would consider doing that if he has a very big year this year. And I think that would be in the best interest of the Yankees, to be quite honest with you. It'll free up a lot for them to go out there and lock up some of the guys they know they need to lock up. I've been telling everybody, Stanton opting out is not an insane idea. I see a lot of people sit back and laugh at this idea that if Stanton somehow finished top 3 in MVP voting, if Stanton hits above 280 and hits 40 homers, 45 home runs, if you don't think Stanton will consider opting out, you're out your damn mind. Folks, Josh Donaldson. What did Josh Donaldson just get on the market? Josh Donaldson just got what? Somebody help me out here. Somebody play along with what I'm talking about here. Somebody play along. Somebody play along with me. What did Josh Donaldson just get? RB Beltran. My friend, there you go. 4 years, close to $100 million. 4 years and almost $100 million. With an option. With an option. Giancarlo Stanton will be 30 years old. The National League will likely have the DH added soon, probably 2021. I could name teams off the top of my head that would be very interested in Stanton. No doubt about it. If anybody thinks he would just say, oh, well, I can't get 250 in this market, or I can't get 225. All right. Save those comments. I'll screenshot this. I'll remember this chat. Save all these. Save all these. Look, is it going to happen? I don't know. Maybe he really does love New York. That's not everything I've been told. And I've put that information out there quite a bit. That is not everything I've been told. That's not everything I've been told. No, Jim, but here's the big comparison, Jimmy boy. How old is the bringer of rain? The bringer of rain is not 30. How old is the good old bringer of rain? 34. 4 years. Okay? 4 years will bring him to 38 plus an option. Possibly 39. Stan's 30. He can't get double that deal? 8 years, 200? You don't think nobody would do 8 years, 240? 250? Another one on top of what he has? Well, Donaldson was more productive last year. People seem to forget that Stanton was MVP. People all of a sudden forget the player that Stanton is. People forget that this guy came to the Yankees off of an MVP. Wowzer. Wowzer. Okay. All right. Let's move on from Stanton. Not with the Yankees. Well, yeah, injury-plagued year. I mean, I don't know, what else you want from the guy, but all right, folks, give him time. Give him time. Many of you said the same thing about A-Rod before 09, and they were on his nuts for the rest of his life. So let's only be fair here. Let's only be fair here. Thoughts on the Mookie Betts trade? It's funny because you kind of had an idea this was going to happen. Good. Good. I see a lot of Yankee fans online talking about, oh my God, the Dodgers this, the Dodgers that, the Dodgers now have the best outfield ever, and the Dodgers get Mookie Betts. I could care less. Look, all the Red Sox did now was just make the Yankee season possibly easier. Let him go. Let him go. And that's it. Nelson Cruz and JD Martinez just got a pretty big deal, are more productive at 32 through 35 than Stanton ever was for half the price. All right. I'm laughing at that for multiple reasons. I'm laughing at that for multiple, not that I totally disagree with it, but for multiple reasons. It's kind of hilarious. Look, I'm not some jumping up and down fan of Stanton, but I'm not gonna sit here and say this guy sucks if he's healthy. That's just not the case. That's just not the case. When this guy's healthy, he's one of the better players in baseball. Simple as that. There's no denying that. There's literally zero denying that. But I'll let some of you be on that one. Where does Mookie sign after the season? I don't know, and honestly, they're talking about $400 million. I don't see that happening. I don't see him getting 400. You would think the Dodgers would be the favorite immediately. I don't see that happening. I don't see him getting all that money. Jameson Talion, he's been injured, so Jameson has a road back for himself, and a very good pitcher if he's going to be healthy and hit his upside and his potential. But a very good pitcher for the Pirates. I think he is part of that rebuilding process. I don't see them dealing him right now. Yeah, I don't see Betts getting 400. I don't see that happening. Could the Yankees possibly look at Taijuan Walker? I said that already. I don't think that's the help for the Yankees. If he accepts a minor league deal, why not let him work his way back with us? But the most recent report is that he's topping out at 85, 86. So, no, I'm not huge on that. I think the Yankees have some guys in the minors that can help out and go from there. What do I see happening? To be quite honest, I would, based on everything I know and all the information I get, I've been told again, the only way a Nolan Arenado deal happens is if it lands in the Yankees' lap. And I personally, I don't see that happening. I just don't. And I don't see the Yankees surrendering up a ton to get him. I don't see that. That just doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make sense. I can see them signing a minor league pitcher. I could see them taking a flyer on somebody else. I could see them making possibly a trade for a starter. Archer wouldn't be the name I go after. That wouldn't make a world of sense for me. But we'll see what happens. Adam, my friend, I got to talk to you directly because you are also representing NYY News, which is a brand that Felix done great, and I also contributed a ton to. I wouldn't say dial it back, my guy, but you got to calm down a bit. You got to calm down a bit with how you go about your things, and I'm here to answer questions and here to help and here to provide any possible guidance that I can do to assist. But Adam, you go a little crazy, my guy. You go a little nuts. Calm it down. Dial it back a little bit. It's all right. Dial it back. Robbie Ray would be amazing. Robbie Ray would be amazing, but I don't see them giving up on him right now. I think, again, like I said, I think the Diamondbacks truly feel they got a team. Guys, look, why are the Reds going to want to trade starters? The Reds got a very good team. Just because we're Yankee fans don't mean we just take any player we want. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. He might get extended by the Diamondbacks depending on the year he has, but if he has a big year, this is great for him. If he has a big year, he'll make a ton of money in the free agent market, so it'll work perfect for Ray. That's why I push so hard to go after him now, because he is coming. I mean, how great would it be if the Yankees made that trade last year for Robbie Ray? It would have been great. I mean, right now you got Robbie Ray as a fifth starter possibly. A guy goes down, you got another power lefty in your rotation. That's why I always say, man, starting pitching depth, you can't have enough of it. I see a lot of people sometimes say, oh, they got this guy and they got Montgomery and Herman waiting in AAA. It's not enough. That's not enough. It doesn't necessarily work that way. There's more. There's more. Actually, Robbie Ray apparently is a very, very big fan of New York. He was actually excited and hoping to come here, per everything I knew. Even if you heard his interviews, he talked about how exciting it would be to come there and to shave. If he would shave, he would shave. He wouldn't mind it. Yeah, no, he doesn't make videos for NYY News. He actually he writes for NYY News now. He writes for NYY News. I'm not beating him up. I'm not beating Adam up at all. I'm really not. I'm just letting him know how to build himself up. Look, guys, I've had my ups and downs, and I'm not where I want to be yet. And there's times I still make mistakes. But the worst thing you can do, I notice on social media, and I've learned this very quickly, is be arrogant about things and act like everybody else is wrong and you're right. So, back off of that stuff a little bit. Somebody disagrees with your opinion, let them disagree with it. Have a conversation and move on. You can't just say, the Rockies said today that Nolan Arenado's upset. Oh, guaranteed a Yankee. Arenado to the Yankees confirmed. It doesn't work that way at all. That's not how it works. At all. I'm not being an asshole about it. I'm just being honest. It doesn't work that way. That's not how this stuff works. And the good old Pope of Sports here. The good old Pope of Sports. Man, do many of you guys remember when good old Bobby Booms here disappeared for a while and I used to keep his name relevant and ask about him? Anybody on here remember that? Why isn't drafted players MLB ready like the NFL? Good question, Carlos, and I appreciate it. Oh, good. David, you remember. Bobby has turned out to be not the kindest guy in the world to Simonetti, who prayed for him, kept his name relevant among all of you and everybody else. An absolute joke this guy's become. And I'm shocked because apparently he has a lot of bad things to say about me. And look who's in my chat. He was one of the first people in my live chat. One of the first. Bobby Booms, welcome. You're one of the first to follow me again. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Well, guess what, Bobby? You no longer enjoy doing it in my presence. Have a good day, my friend. Bye-bye. See you later, Bobby. I will get to your question, my friend. Where are you at? You just answered that question. Why isn't the drafted players MLB ready like NFL? There's a big jump. There's a major, major jump. And I think it is more major than any sport. It's very, very different. And you do have guys who are being rushed now. You got guys that are taking a year. You got guys that are coming up much, much quicker. So I think teams are becoming a little more, hey, if this guy's good, if we feel he's there, we put him there. But there's a big difference. So you got guys, you mentioned NFL for an example. Typically these guys are playing at a pretty strong level already in college football to then go to the NFL. People will tell you, going from A-ball to AA, they say is the greatest jump. Going from AA to AAA, they say it gets a little more refined because you've got some more major league guys at the AAA level. And then, the major leagues is a whole nother ballgame. Your prime example is guys that will hit, 320, 330, 340, 290, 285, 300. In AAA, come up to the majors and hit 150, 119, 200, 225. I can name you a few of them. Rob Refsnyder, Peter O'Brien, that can hit the hell out of the ball in the minor leagues but can't do it in the majors. So it's rather crazy. And guys know, real quick, you guys know I very rarely boot anybody out of a chat, but somebody like Bobby Booms, the Pope of sports, I have to boot out. Here's a guy, and I'm going to give you guys a personal story of Bobby real quickly. Here's a guy who asked me for help. I used to share all of his stuff. Twitter, everywhere you could think, shared his live chats, shared his YouTube videos, shared his Twitter page, asked people to follow him, hyped him up, promoted him, did all of that, right? This guy disappeared. I would tell everybody all the times anybody heard from him, anybody heard from Bobby. He's a good guy, blah, 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 this and that. Bobby then contacts me after I search for him, tells me his father passed away. I tell him how sympathetic I am. I'm very sorry. It's upsetting. Anything I could do to help, you let me know. Any support you need, somebody you need to speak to, I'll be happy to help you. All of a sudden, about a couple of weeks go by, and I look on my YouTube, and it's like 40 comments of Bobby bashing me. I said, what the hell happened? So I don't know what the hell happened there. But, yeah, man, my guy, folks, baseball needs to come back because people are getting sick. People are getting nuts. People are going nuts. I do like Glaber at shortstop. I don't mind Glaber at shortstop. I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't mind it. I think Glaber at shortstop is fine. In 4 years, Johnny, I'll tell you what. Johnny, that might be a bit long. That might be a bit long, Johnny. Let me tell you why. There's already rumors circulating that Jason Dominguez is going to actually be playing in American ball immediately. So what that means is maybe Staten Island. Maybe he already is in Staten Island. If that's the case, that's insane. But there's already rumors out there that they feel this kid is going to start in American ball immediately. When I say American ball, folks, typically when young Dominican players are signed, they start in the Dominican League. So some people already believe that Dominguez is going to start in possibly Staten Island, which would be really unheard of for such a young player being signed in the international market and immediately jumping into that level of competition. He rates, through the roof. That's his upside, is it not? His upside is as a 19-year-old in the major leagues. That's his upside of being an elite player at a young age. That's why he got so much money. The upside is really there. Now, look, we never know what this kid will turn into, but advanced scouts rank this guy beyond levels that are on the chart. They call him the Martian for that reason. He didn't get this nickname because they're hyping this kid up. He got it because he's truly legit and on both sides of the bat. So he has a laser for an arm. Apparently he can read very well, and I don't mean reading. He can read pitches very well. He has great judgment, apparently. He can read off-speed pitches very well. He has a good batter's eye already. And he has a quick bat and great power. What more would you want? This is everything you'd want every prospect to be. And hey, look, Michael, I'll throw it at you, and I agree. There's a real chance he could be a bust, because if he's a 250 hitter, look, here's the thing that worries me about hyping guys up. Prime example. This is going to be my last thing for today, and then I'll answer any other question. Prime example. People with hopes that Gary Sanchez hits 45 homers a year. Prime example. I think Gary Sanchez, again, is going to have even a better year than last year. I think he's going to continue to thrive and get better. But my thing is, Gary Sanchez, my argument always with Gary Sanchez was the hype that fans put on him, they took away once they saw he wasn't that type of player. And that bothered me. That bothered me. Because Gary Sanchez is a rare talent. Gary Sanchez is a rare ball player. Gary Sanchez should be not one of the top catchers in baseball. Gary Sanchez should be the top catcher in baseball. No question about it. Shouldn't even be an argument. I think a lot of that he brought onto himself. A lot of it he also didn't. So, we'll see what happens. Well, Glaber and Andujar are very, very close. I like Gio Urshela. I like him a lot. Do I think Judge is injury prone? No, I don't think so. All right, guys, I'm going to get to any other questions you want to ask me. Anthony, Pete, what round do you think Jones will win? I got second round TKO. My God, I hope Jones wins first round. Stoppage would be amazing. I do see it happening more in the later rounds. I see Dominic wearing out. I see the left hand not working for him. And we'll see what happens there. Wow, Jack, you got Dom winning. That would be interesting. I think the last thing you want to do against a guy like John Jones is to make him not like you. I think that's one of the worst things you can do against a guy like John Jones is to make him not like you. Yeah, I don't like his chances. I think John Jones has a chip on his shoulder when it comes to this fight. So let's see what happens. What do I think? Do I think Conor has a chance to beat Khabib in his second fight? I do think it'll be much more competitive. That style is still not great for Conor, but I do think it'll be a much more competitive fight, no doubt about it. I still don't like a very good wrestler against Conor, but I do think it'll be a much more compelling fight than people think it would be. Especially a focused Conor. KSI or Jake Paul, I can't take that seriously. I can't take that seriously. Thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime? I'm popping this question soon to my girlfriend at a local restaurant. I'm popping the question. Nice. Should I wait for the dessert or before the meal? Wow. Gio, I'm honored. I'm honored, Gio. I'm honored. My man, I have no patience. I'd probably do it before we got in the damn door. I got no patience. I got no patience whatsoever. So all I can say is, my guy, Gio, I wish you guys the best. I really do. You have been an awesome friend. You have been an amazing friend. I just wish you the best, man. I do. Whatever you feel is right, you go and do, because I got no damn patience. And not in a bad way. I got no patience for anything I do, which is something I'm learning and I'm teaching myself. But it's a beautiful thing when you do it. It's a beautiful thing when you do it, man. So I wish you guys the best. I do. I wish you guys the best. 99% of catchers in the league can't even hit. I agree, but I don't think that's the level we should level Gary Sanchez at. Gary Sanchez should be a well above average hitter, average-wise, be a power hitter, and should be a very good catcher. It's not hard. He should be what we expected him to be. I love Luke Voigt. I think Luke Voigt should get every opportunity at first base. Pete, you think Jones will be good at heavyweight? Yeah, I think John Jones will be very good at heavyweight. Arenado and Lindor, I would be shocked by that. Gary Sanchez has looked very good the last 2 years. And he is. Jim, I agree with you. He's very frustrating. I agree. Who's the favorite to start in left field? I think you still go ahead and say, I think Stanton is, but I think there's a possibility you can see Tauchman get some starts there. In shower, watching my man Pete do his thing. Long day of work. Watching me in the shower. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know what to think. He said you wildin'. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm going to keep going. We're going to have no pauses. I appreciate it. Guys, I think I'm getting sick, by the way, too, man. I ate some Chinese food the other day. I hope I don't got the thing, that's going around out there. God forbid. I'm terrible. Why would I say that for? Chinese food has nothing to do with Chinese food. My God. Bobby Boom just texted me and said rotation sucks. L.I. Yankee King, do me a favor. Right back. Simonetti source said Bobby sucks. Eat some cat and dog. Oh, God. You know, when these chats get beyond baseball, they get a little crazy, okay? Anthony, no, you're not crazy to think Ferguson could beat Khabib. I love everybody that's just looking past Tony Ferguson. It's kind of funny. Tony Ferguson, if you look at all of his last fights, everybody bleeds. No, Jack, I agree. I think Khabib wins. I do. I think Khabib wins. But I think it's funny that so many people think it's just going to be a cakewalk. Every single fight of Tony Ferguson has blood. If Tony's able to get a cut on Khabib and get a little slippery, people know that makes a big difference. He's very awkward. He's very awkward on the ground. He's not your average guy that you could take down and hold there. He's going to be throwing these weird-ass punches and kicks everywhere. It'll be very interesting. Mr. Thompson, my friend, thank you. Your predictions regarding Severino this year. Oh, man, sorry, guys, my throat. I think Luis Severino is going to have a strong year. I think Luis Severino is going to pitch with a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove he's the ace of his club. And I think he's going to fight very hard for that. As long as he's healthy, I think Luis Severino will be very good. I think him and Cole at the top of that rotation could arguably be the best in baseball. I really believe that. You think Conor beats Khabib this time? I just answered that not too long ago. I still don't love the matchup for Conor because a great wrestler is always difficult, especially a wrestler at Khabib's level. I do think it would be more competitive, put it this way. And I think a lot of people laugh at the first fight but don't understand it was a lot more competitive than they think. I do find it kind of odd that Khabib seems very uninterested in that fight. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Rafi, me and Ryan are currently working on that. The format that we're planning on is going to be a live chat like this, but it's going to be split screen with Ryan on one side, me on the other side, and you guys can ask us questions as we go in the chat and have conversations and automatically respond to it so we can make it an interactive podcast, which I don't know if many people are doing that, but I want to make it an interactive podcast, have it done every Sunday. So I think that would be very interesting. Pete, what's your prediction on Garrett Cole? I expect a very good year. I don't expect the same year as last year. I think there's a chance, he could possibly take a little bit of a step back, not huge. A lot of guys struggled that first year with the Yankees. So let's see. I think Conor fights Nate Diaz or Gaethje next, Pete. I agree. I would love to see Gaethje at 170. I think he would absolutely destroy Justin Gaethje. I don't think that fight lasts past one. I really don't. I think Gaethje's a terrible matchup for Conor because I think Conor is such a good counter puncher, he would just destroy him. Why did you guys stop? Ryan, both me and Ryan make music. So we both have outside careers also of focusing on music. Ryan does live shows like every week. Every other day, it seems like he has a new show he's doing. So time has been tough for him. And, we'll see where it goes, man. I doubt Hap goes anywhere. I kind of agree. What about Noah Syndergaard? And you are great. Thank you, my friend. What about Noah? Noah Syndergaard. He's a great pitcher. He will talk about Meredith the whole time. Meredith looks very good. She lost some weight. Good for Meredith. She looks really good. Anybody else got anything else for me today? Wait, I think somebody asked a question I wanted to answer. Oh, the Super Bowl halftime show. I'll just be upfront and honest with you guys. I am not a fan of Jennifer Lopez whatsoever. I severely dislike her. I don't hate anybody. I love Shakira. I love Shakira. I've never been a fan of Jennifer Lopez. I think she's arguably one of the biggest phonies of all time. And I think she's one of the biggest phonies of all time. Here's a lady who said I was recently in the Bronx to film a commercial. The producers come out and go, no, she wasn't. She was actually in California behind a green screen. Just talks a lot of garbage about, oh, I'm Jenny from the block and blah, 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 blah. I'm not a fan of her. I didn't like her part at the end. I thought the whole stripping pole thing, that having kids come out, all the symbolisms of politics into sports and into football, feel none of it was needed. But it is what it is. It's the magnified world that we're living in. And yeah, so it is what it is. Nick, you're a sick fuck. I wasn't a fan of the halftime show at all. I know all the artists, Bad Bunny, J Balvin. I like all of them. I like all of them. I just wasn't a fan. I thought Shakira's part was a lot better. I mean, I always had a thing for Shakira. I can't lie. I like Shakira. Talking about women, Pete, your girl will be on the next live chat again. I don't know. We actually have been doing we're working on, it's actually on one of her Instagram page, where we do a new thing that me and her are doing. It's airing, it comes on every Tuesday. It's the Instagram IGTV thing where me and her discuss a topic and we debate it. So it's something fun that we've actually been planning for a while together. We'll see. No, I think it was J Balvin. J Balvin was the one who grinded on J-Lo, I believe. I believe it was J Balvin. Bad Bunny, I think, came out for Shakira's part. Pete, would you have new upcoming merchandise? Yes, I will have new upcoming merchandise. You guys know I have a album coming out here soon. I have an album coming out here soon in the next couple of months that I'm extremely proud of. So we'll see. There'll be a lot more stuff coming out. Alex Cora is probably one of the biggest scumbags on the planet. I've always said that. Trump made taking a knee political, so why knock J-Lo? Let me tell you why I knock J-Lo. I got cousins that live in Puerto Rico. I got tons and tons of Puerto Rican friends growing up in New York. I knocked Jennifer Lopez, as some of you saw my tweet I put out about Fat Joe, Pitbull, J-Lo, Mark Anthony, who I think is one of the greatest male vocalists of all time. I think Mark Anthony is an unbelievable artist. One of my all-time favorites. The reason why you say, you know, Donald Trump made it political, okay, I can get behind you on that. The reason why I call Jennifer Lopez phony is because you will sit there and knock America and knock the sitting president, like him or not, let's be fair, about Puerto Rico aid, and there was no assistance provided. There wasn't enough. Then you come to find out he was right about everything. Puerto Rico's government is corrupt. They hid the aid. They hid it. People died. People suffered. They had factory buildings filled with aid that they never gave out because they wanted to look good politically. That's why I call her phony. Because if you're going to play this side, if you're going to say something is bad, say both sides of it. What would have been so wrong for Pitbull, who's not Puerto Rican, but yeah, he helped, he did, Mark Anthony, Fat Joe, Jennifer Lopez, to criticize Puerto Rico's government? What would have been so bad about that? How would that have hurt them? That probably would have looked better for them. But they didn't. They chose not to because it doesn't fit their political agenda, which bothers me. That I call phony. Because look, I can support anybody I want to. Doesn't mean I agree with everything they do. Folks, today on Twitter, listen to this. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Me, all you guys who have watched me for so long, was called a racist because I said I support any sitting president, including the current sitting president. I was called a racist. A man that is engaged to a Latina woman, has children that are Hispanic, was called a racist. That's the world we're living in, folks. That's why I wish my platform will continue to grow. Because people look at this stuff in such a negative, stupid way that it makes no sense. For anybody, it just amazes me, man. It just truly amazes me. I grew up. Anybody who grown up in New York, you know we live in a melting pot. I never knew about hate. I never knew about hate growing up. I don't know what's going on in today's world that kids are talking about hatred now. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And there, I'll stop there. I don't want to go further down that rabbit hole. But I love everybody. I love everybody that is on this chat. I love everybody on my Twitter, including the ones that, want to say idiotic things like that. I wish them the best. That's all. I wish them the best, and I kind of laugh at it. And Twitter has enabled people. Twitter has enabled people to become something they're not. And that's the bad thing about social media. But it is what it is. You're right, Drew. You're 100% right. Pete, you see what Colby said in this Helwani interview about that? I agree with him. I agree with him. I agree with him. I agree with Colby 100%. J-Lo's the type to live in Riverdale and claim to be from the hood. I agree. So, folks, just a quick thing on Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez grew up in a neighborhood that my father, a lot of his cousins lived there. It was a very normal neighborhood. This neighborhood didn't have drugs all over the floor at the time of her growing up. It wasn't a horrible part of the Bronx, okay? Jennifer Lopez's parents were doctors. I love this idea of victimhood when you grow up better off than most people. It cracks me up. It's hilarious. There is no victimhood in that situation. There isn't. She claims to be this girl from the hood that had to struggle in her life to get out the Bronx. That's not the case. Folks, look. Just be real. Being real is so much easier than being fake. Because when you're fake, you got to prove things to people. When you're fake, you must prove things to people. Folks, I'm going to keep it real. I've done shows in the South Bronx. Do you think it is easy for me, look at me, to go into a club in the South Bronx and perform hip-hop music and get everybody involved in it and not hear nonsense? Do you think that's easy? You want to know why I'm able to do it? Because I have nothing at all to prove to anybody. I have nothing to prove because I just keep it real. I don't go in there acting like I'm somebody I'm not. I don't go in there doing things I shouldn't do because I'm performing that night. I don't do that. I go in there have a drink, I talk with people, I perform. People who don't like it don't have to like it. People that like it, I chat with them, I take pictures, we share social media. We share social media. That's it. Simple as that. So guys, with that being said, God bless you all. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. Thank you guys so much. You all are the best. Thank you for being on the chat today. Thank you everybody who went ahead and donated today and just was on the chat. I thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.